Okay. So yes. Hey y'all, hey, I am your girl, Soulflower Nula, CEO of Hana's Healing House, here today to bring you all some beautiful full moon and Aries messages, affirmations, different tips and tricks and rituals you all can do to enhance your full moon practice on tonight. I have a couple of updates that I'm gonna go over towards the end of the video, and then y'all join me at 9 o'clock tonight because I have a full moon cosmic conversations vibe going on where we're going to really vibe out one-on-one. If you want some messages for this full moon, if you're feeling a little something after this Mercury retrograde and you just want to hear what spirit has for you, then tap in with me at 9 p.m. That's going to be live via Instagram, so at Hana's Healing House. um, Two quick updates out the way as I'm going to be certifying start beginning November for Reiki 1 and 2 and also Yoni Steam certs. Okay. So if you are interested in being a certified Yoni Steam practitioner and you're wanting to add this healing modality to your practice, this is a great opportunity for you. And if you're not looking to incorporate this into your business and you're just wanting to travel the journey of your womb, this is also a great opportunity for you. And for Reiki as well. So we will be certifying for that. Dates and all of that will go out towards November. I have dates for November and December already locked in. Top of 2022 will be announced. Okay. Yes, so we're going to open up with full moon and Aries prayer. Everybody just take a deep breath with me. Mm. God, goddesses, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, those that love, protect, and guide us. I thank you so very much for connecting us tonight, this evening, under this beautiful hunter full moon in Aries. Such powerful energy. We're so very thankful for all the healing and restoration that has taken place up to this very moment now. We surrender into the very moment that is present. We breathe deep. Exhaling all gratitude, exhaling all tension, exhaling all pressure, exhaling all anxieties about the future, too much about the past, just really relinquishing all of that into the present, giving so much thanks. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a conduit of this energy. Thank you so much for allowing me to share and share these transmissions. I ask that as we move over into the spirit messages, that the messages that I share are in alignment with whatever it is that you'd like the collective to hear. May somebody be touched and feel more nourished in which they came into this connection. Again, thanking you so much for connecting us. All praises for what has happened, what will happen, and what is happening currently right now. Okay, I had to say that last. This is normally amen, ashe, all praises. This is normally not the way I say it, but I had to say it that way because what's happening right now has been quite a doozy, y'all. So we're just going to dive into it. So I'm going to talk about Mercury retrograde because I have gotten a lot of inboxes on both my personal page as well as my business page about Mercury retrograde. And so I do want to put this here for everybody to have understanding. So retrogrades are just the perception of these planets going backwards. That's literally what it means when they say retrograde. During this time, depending on which planet is going backwards, things can stir up. Example, the one that everybody's highlighting right now is Mercury. Mercury is the planet of communication, humanitarianism, war, things like that, right? And standing ground, energy like that. And we're also in the age of the Aquarius, and so this is also highlighting humanitarianism and the need for the people to figure out how they can give back to the people in the most give backy way. Okay? Now, the most beautiful thing about the retrograde is depending on when you were born, depending on if you yourself actually had planets in retrograde when you were born, every retrograde is going to affect you differently. I was born under 4 retrogrades, so sometimes when they hit, they don't hit the same for me as certain energy, or those who are just like retrograde. Because Mercury is going to be here and it's going to do what it's going to do. So is Pluto, so is Mars and Neptune and Venus. Some of us haven't even done our natal chart beyond what our sun sign is. I'm a sun sign Cancer. To even know what your moon is. My moon is in Sag. My rising is in Leo. Venus is in, I'm sorry, my rising is Scorpio. Venus is in Leo. I think my Mars is in Leo. My Mercury is in Leo. Um, and so all of these different planetary positionings make up a whole you. It's very important. That's step one. Following that, retrograde is when chaos in relation to that planet or positive energy and shifts can occur, depending on which end of the spectrum you fall on, and also if you've been doing your own individual shadow work, in addition to what's been happening to the collective consciousness on the planet. Things will affect you differently, okay? Now, moving into this full moon in Aries, the full moon in Aries, y'all, talks a lot about inner child work, right? It talks a lot about that coming forward. So I first want to say I have so much love and gratitude for everybody who has been digging into the trenches and doing this shadow work during this retrograde time and during the season when there has been lots of confusion and there has been such a disconnect in our communities, right? Because, wow, presence. There's such a huge battle, y'all. There's such a huge battle to disconnect us. There's such a huge battle to keep us connected from one another, our purposes, our goals, our visions, our manifestations, even just, like I said, our own energy. So it's so important that we take the time to dig deep into what's happening cosmically in this world so we can understand how to use it to apply to us, right? So this full moon in Aries, again, like I said, it's really, if you've been doing your shadow work during this time period, which I'm assuming to align at this frequency you have, um, this is going to really be a time for you to put into action that which you've sat with during this time, that which you've processed during this time. Some of the decisions you made, if you made them during a retrograde, some of you are going to be very apologetic right now, especially during Mercury, because when Mercury is in retrograde, lots of things, like I said, communication wise, can be off. And it's not so much um um because you're having like an actual 3D disagreement with the person that you're speaking with. It's literally cosmic. So contracts I would wait on during Mercury retrograde, signing things, launching new projects that involve communication, throat chakra, or like I said, humanitarianism, helping the world, helping the collective, business ventures and stuff. It's best to wait. Family matters, what the fuck ever. It's best to wait until after retrograde, Mercury specifically, is done in order for you to take on that next level, okay? Aries is the more immature sign of the cardinal, so it is a cardinal sign. Cardinal signs are initiators. They get things going, they get things cracking, they're the great ideals. Cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So that crowd there, and that's literally the order from like age, if you can imagine. Aries is one, Cancer is two, Libra is three, and Capricorn is four. And so this is literally the spectrum of maturity and also how back. So some of us, like I said, we're really going far back into inner child. Some of y'all forgot the shit that you had to process and deal with, and that's why it's coming back up. So be mindful not to deal with it immature, right? Be mindful not to deal with it from a broken child, inner child perspective. Really sit with the medicine that's coming up for you. Really sit with the interactions and the encounters that are popping up for you, because they are truly going to be beneficial. But if you don't sit with them and you don't understand why they're coming up, you'll miss that opportunity, right? Not miss it because you never really miss what's for you. If it's a lesson that you're supposed to understand, then it's going to cycle back around. But why, miss it this time to have it cycle back around when you could just lean into it, right? And I'm going to teach this more in my Womb Wellness Masterclass, especially for our Divine Feminine, really leaning into these experiences so you can obtain the medicine. Most of us fight or flight response is off. And it's off because of our childhood, our upbringing, all of the traumas that we've allowed, all of the energies, be it friendship, sexual, platonic, whatever. All of those energies are molding some of the decisions that we're making in our now 3D reality as grown adults. And some of us are wondering why things aren't happening the way we want them to happen, why these opportunities aren't unfolding the way we thought they should, or why we're just feeling so disconnected to ourselves. Some of us are having pussy abnormalities, right? We're dealing with that PCOS, that infertility, things like that, and we're not understanding why. And so this is why I'm saying whatever comes up for you during this time, be gentle with yourself, because cosmically you could be in a space of, I'm a hurt inner child and I am bringing that inner child, that little me, out so that I can love her, but she may have a tantrum about it because it's a lot. It's heavy. This is this newness. And Aries does talk about the newness. Everything burnt up with this retrograde. So some things, like I said, some relationships did have to be severed and cut. If you severed and cut relationships in retrograde and you don't feel like you need to go back and revisit them, then don't. Um, if you feel like you need to reevaluate some of the conversations that you had, I know for sure there were two that I had to, one I had to not even speak to during retrograde, and then one I was so thankful that I was able to navigate with that individual right the day literally after retrograde ended, and it just made so much peace. So following cosmic shifts can help in that way. But we're really coming right now into the phoenix, right? We're really, because of everything that was burned, that was old, that no longer serves us, that disconnects us from our highest self, onto this path of wellness, whatever that is for you. Um, you're now rebirthing in that. So I want you to know whatever work you were doing last year in October and November, you're going to start to see that energy show up now. And if you weren't doing anything consciously in October and November, you still were doing it subconsciously, so that shit's still going to show up too. So if it's some shit that doesn't feel good, it don't feel in alignment, it ain't what you like, you wish it was a little bit snazzier, then get to the drawing board, example tonight, and let's release, so that we can recreate, okay? Death to old cycles. Scorpio season is coming in. This is the phoenix of it, right? So Scorpio season is very about rebirth. It's like death and rebirth, closing of old cycles. It's the scorpion energy. So I'm feeling like it's you administering the medicine to yourself. We're now administering that internal medicine to ourselves, which is taking us into our shadows. Be very careful not to go too far deep, into the shadows, that you're not also acknowledging how far you've come, all of the beautiful lessons that you've learned, and then actually applying those lessons, because sometimes we get so deep into the shadow work that we forget to apply the lessons. We forget to give ourselves gratitude and have patience for how much we've already mastered and overcome on this journey to self-mastery, assuming that that's our path, right? um, so yeah, grace and ease is going to be extremely important right now. And then also I want to highlight, because I was in meditation and they gave this to me. My nose is itching, so I don't know what that means. I'm gonna look that up. It's a spiritual thing. If you know what that means, y'all tell me. But yeah. Now, this is something I was given in meditation right now. There's a call to this planet for women right now. Women are receiving a call to elevate their feminine energy. They're receiving a call to tap deeper into their womb, and It's happening right now. And what this means is, because we are women, y'all, we're gonna have this innate call to want to help the world. And so I need us to be able to differentiate the difference clearly. Right now, some of us are really moving into a space and time where we have to heal ourselves. We have to stop and pause and take great care of ourselves. It is not a time to administer. It is a time to administer to ourselves. Okay, and do womb work and dig deeper into sister circles and moon rituals and practices that can help elevate your connection to your feminine energy. Because for some of us, some might feel like, oh no, I know now that I am supposed to be, a youth counselor. I'm gonna start this youth counseling business right now. I know it's supposed to, and that's it. And truthfully, it could be spirit telling you that you need some counseling, right? For some youth stuff, some childhood stuff. So don't misconstrue the messages. Really sit with the medicine that's coming up from you, so you can know how you should move right now to navigate. Um, yes, to navigate this new space and time successfully. So I'm going to share with you all some release rituals, a couple of my favorites, the bath or the shower intentional ritual. Y'all know I curate your HHH full moon herbal baths. They are in accordance to the full moon. So, example, this full moon that's in Aries right now, this specific bath has carnelian crystal inside of it, and some herbs that go with the Aries moon, also this space and time, that are also seasonal, that can support with overall health. So if that's something you're interested in, that's great for a bath. You boil the tea bag in the water. Once you let it steep for anywhere between 7 to 10 minutes, you pour it in your tub, submerge yourself in the water. For some of you, it's going to be a shower. So what you'd want to do is you'd put your tea bag inside. After you boil it, you'd fill that up inside of your gallon of a jug or whatever you have, and you let that cool down. So maybe it'll be a 24-hour thing. Some of us, we boil it. I've done it. I boiled my tea bag, and once it cooled down to room temp, I refrigerated it. And when I knew the next day I was going to take my intentional shower, I let it start sitting to get, room temp so it wouldn't freeze my butt. I'm not taking the ALS ice challenge. That's not a thing for me. So, and I don't like cold like that. I really don't. But what I've noticed too, and I'm going to share this, this is so random this way, but when I was younger, I used to really love hot, 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 hot baths. As I discovered more of my feminine energy and I tapped deeper into my feminine, and I don't know if it's just me or what, but I stopped being able to stand hot ass showers. Like my skin can't take it. It just turns me off now. Whereas getting under hot water some years ago was so amazing. It was like, and I still love saunas. I go to the spa monthly, bi-monthly. I'm sorry, bi-weekly, and I do take great care of my skin. But I just don't like hot water anymore. So I don't know. Y'all tell me what that means if you got anything for that. But I definitely relate that to me softening, because I had to do a lot of softening and I had to learn a lot of what softness looks like because I wasn't given that from my mom, my aunts, or the spirit. Nothing gave that to me. I literally had to navigate that. And I'm thankful for all of the ancestors that have paved the way with their beautiful energy to give me something to look at and to want to model and to Nefertiti. I love the goddess. Okay, Nzinga, Queen Nzinga is amazing too, but these queens are goddesses that I model for different things. I didn't necessarily have them in this 3D lifetime per se, but just thankful for their energies. So y'all, part of this being feminine vibe is knowing when it's time to give and when it's time to stay put. Okay, so I empower you to know if you're on the spectrum of it's time to do something now to help the planet because you're feeling that cosmic tug, or is it really just the cosmic tug telling you to go inside? Okay, your shower. If you're gonna do a shower and you're gonna pour it over you from your shower, after you pour the whole thing over you, stand back at the furthest point of your tub so that you can literally see the water going down. And as the water is going down, I want you to visualize everything washing off you, whatever it is that you're intentionally releasing. Which brings me to my next one, which is your writing portion. If you want to do a writing portion, your writing, you don't want to avoid it. I kind of highlight this for other people, and in other spaces when I've had speaking engagements before. But it's very important to me to share this with you all. When you write, I want you to write, I release blank and I replace it with blank. Okay, so I release anxiety and I replace it with pure peace. Okay, so you don't want to just release, 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 and have an empty void. There's nothing there. What are you're creating, right? And if you're creating a release for you, why are you not also creating a new reality or new manifestations or just wanting new things to come in for you as you're intentionally co-creating this release? And so that if that helps you remember that, then so be it. But all I'm really saying is balance. Be about balance. You want to release it, you want to invite more of what in. If you know what you want to release, I'm sure you know what you want to invite more of in. Take that and run and do amazing works with it. That's the writing portion. And for some of us that don't want to write, don't want to bathe, all of that sounds spooky, or maybe not spooky, just sounds too much. Moon gazing. Go outside. Go outside right now and stare at the moon. Just gaze at the moon. See if there's any messages for you. I've seen people, I've seen so many beautiful things in staring at the moon. I've made contact with my grandmother. Just so many great things. So, for you, try that medicine out. I also make moon water. It's about as tall as my candle here. I put a carafe with spring water inside of it in my windowsill to charge. And I charge that for 24 hours. And what I do is I use that same carafe throughout the full month to add to different things that I do. So sometimes I take a shot of the water if I'm wanting to create something, right? Sometimes I add a little smidget to the dinner that I'm making for my family and myself or one of my partners, friends, whatever. Sometimes I add a little bit to our mop when I'm doing my keep away spells or I'm doing some of my home blessing rituals. So it's really just however you want to use the moon water. It doesn't have to be necessarily to drink, but it's a great way to extract and absorb moon energy without doing anything that makes you feel too out there, right? Um, Crystals to work with, you all. Carnelian, black onyx, and rose quartz feel very, very good. If you are a Scorpio, I did get a specific message for Scorpios to begin to work with red jasper, okay? Happy birthday, Scorpios. Happy full moon, and I love you all. Peace and power.